everyone, I want to share some stories to celebrate the Day of Tango. We have the Day of Tango 11th of December because the coincidence that Gardel and Julio de Caro, they were born that day. Julio de Caro was a very young man that was playing in the orchestra of Arolas. That was his first professional job with Arolas, El Tigre del Bandoneón. That he found him in a surprise performance that he did with the orchestra of Firpo in the Palais de Glace. So he saw him and said, this boy has a talent, and he insists to talk to the father of Julio de Caro to bring him in his orchestra. Finally, Julio de Caro is going to leave his home to pursue the dream of being a tango musician. The truth is that in that moment Gardel already was his idol, and he was trying to see him every time he could. He was going in that time at the Teatro Esmeralda, where Gardel was performing there. And one day he could not avoid the will of meeting in near and to have a picture with the signature of Gardel. So he went, very shy, but he went to the dress room where the artists they were changing, and he knocked, and Gardel came out and said, I know you, you are the new boy of Arolas, because Gardel really knew everyone in the tango scene. I say, okay, since it's you, I'm going to give you my best picture. So Gardel found a very nice picture and signed it for Julio de Caro. Many years passed. Julio de Caro actually became a big maestro. He was having already his orchestra, and they plan a tour in Europe that is going to be his debut with the orchestra in Europe. So they perform in Nice, in a very important theater, the Theater Méditerranée. And they were super stressed, like Julio de Caro was very nervous. He has never felt that nervous in his life. He remembered to have the legs shaking before the show. The room was full of people, and it was a long table, like with 100 people, only one table. And before the show, the spotlight, it went to that table, and one guy raised from the seat and started to do the presentation and the announcement. What he was not expecting is that it's going to be Gardel, and he dedicated to them very nice words, and he said that he was coming from Paris not for the view of the blue coast or the paysage or the beach or the nature. He was there because of this Argentinian orchestra that it was one of the best of his time, and he gave an enormous presentation where people clap a lot, and he said they are not going to disappoint you, and they are going to play with everything they have, with all their soul. So after this big presentation, Julio de Caro had to take the courage, no? So he took courage, they started performing. And one of the tangos that it was the most played in the night, it was El Monito. Because Charles Chaplin was in the room and he could not stop dancing El Monito. So can you imagine Charles Chaplin dancing El Monito? That is fantastic. They have a very good show. It was longer than they expected, and they did a fantastic tour in Europe. In Buenos Aires, they are going to meet again, Gardel and Julio. And they're going to be walking from Tucumán Street, and there was a boy, a young man, that started to talk to Gardel, saying, Gardel, please help me. And Gardel looked to Julio, saying, are you ready to spend some money? And before even Julio answered that, he took the guy from the arm and took him in a shop where they were selling used clothes, suits, no? And the owner of the shop asked, do you want shoes? Do you want something else? They say, first give him a towel, to a wet towel, no? To clean himself, and then dress him up from the head to the toe. And this is what the guy did. And when this man saw himself in the mirror, Julio cannot forget his face. He was laughing and crying all together of the happiness and at the same time the miracle. So without let him even blink to Julio, Gardel paid and took him again from the arm to the hairdresser to cut his hair, to shave his face, and say to Julio, all right, we should give some money to this guy to start over, no? To find his job, to be in his feet. So he said, this is on you. I already spent all my money today. So he let Julio to give some money to the guy, and they left from the shop and they disappeared. I think this guy lived a Christmas day, a fantastic, magical day. So I thought it's a nice story to share it with you. Coming now also Christmas and New Year, hoping that all of us we will have the opportunity in the small or the big amount or in what we can to help the people around, since we are in very difficult times. So from the team of TANGart, we wish you a very good day of tango for today, and we wish you a nice Christmas and New Year. See you soon!